We continue now at the top of Daf Ayin Hey Amud Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 75a. And the previous Amud, the Gemara said that when Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, he said in the name of Rabbi Yonasan that in the future Gavriel is going to make a Knigya im Livyasan. He's going to do a hunt for the Livyasan. Shenamar, as it says in the pasuk, Hatimshoch Livyasan bechaka. Will you draw out the Livyasan with the fish hook, uvechevelin with the rope? Tashkia l'shono. You'll press down his tongue. That is a pasuk from Eov. And the Gemara continues, Vil Mali HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ozra. And if not for the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was helping him, meaning helping Gavriel, Ein Yachalo, Gavriel would not be able to defeat the Livyasan. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is also a pasuk in Eov, Ha'oso Yagesh Charbo, the one who created him, is going to approach him with his sword. And the Gemara continues, Ki Yasser Rav Dimi Amar Rabbi Yochanan. When Rav Dimi came from Eretz Yisrael to Bavel, he said that Rabbi Yochanan said, B'shasha Livyasan Roiv, at the time that the Livyasan is hungry, Motzi Hevel Mipiv, there's breath that comes out of his mouth, Umarsiach Kol Meimos Shebemitzula, and he causes to foam all of the waters of the depths. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is also a pasuk in Eov, Yarsiach Kasir Mitzula, he makes the deep boil like a pot. Vil Moli Machnis Rosho Legan Eden, and if not for the fact that the Livyasan put its head in Gan Eden, Ein Kol Bir Yechol Lamod Berecho, nobody could withstand its smell. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is also a pasuk in Eov, Yom Yasam Kimerkacha, he makes the sea like a mixture, but Merkacha could also indicate Besamim, something that smells, as the Rashbam says, Kimerkacha Kibesamim, like Besamim, and that's the indication that there's a smell. And the Gemara continues, Uvashash at Samin, at the time that the Livyasan is thirsty, Osa Tulamim Bayam, he makes furrow after furrow in the sea. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is also a pasuk in Eov, Achara V'yor Nasiv, after him he makes a path that shines. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Acha Bar Yaakov, Rav Acha Bar Yaakov says, Ein Tahom Chozer Le'esano Ad Shivim Shana, the depths do not return to their strength until 70 years pass. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is the same pasuk from Eov, Yachshov Tahom La Seva, he makes the deep seem old. V'ein Seva Pechusam Yishivim, and Seva is not less than 70, and that's the idea of 70 years. It returns to its original strength. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Rabba says that Rabbi Yochanan says, Asad HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'asos su'uda latzadikim mi besaro shel Livyasan. In the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make a meal for the tzadikim from the meat of the Livyasan. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, this is also from Eov, Yichru olav chaborim, it says that the Talmidei Chachamim, they're going to feast, they're going to have a meal. As the Gemara explains, Ve'ein keira ela su'uda, the word keira refers to a meal. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, this is from Malachim, it says, Vayichru lehem keira gedola vayochlu vayishtu. It's clear from the pasuk that we're talking about eating and drinking, and we're using the same term. Ve'ein chaborim ela talmidei chachamim. When it says chaborim, it refers to chaverim, it refers to talmidei chachamim. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk in Shir Hashirim, hayosheves baganim chaverim makshivim lekolech hashmiini. It talks about the chaverim who listen to your voice. We're talking about the talmidei chachamim. And the Gemara continues, v'hashar, and the rest means to say the rest of the Livyasan, mechalkeno, so they divide it, v'yosen bo sechora, and they use it for merchandise, b'shuka Yerushalayim, in the marketplaces of Yerushalayim. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this pasuk is the pasuk from Eov we quoted above, Yechetzuhu bein Kananim, it says that they're going to divide it among the Kananim, ve'en Kananim ela tagorim, and here the word Kananim is used to mean merchants. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Kanan biyado mozne mirma, it talks about the Kanan who has in his hands, he is using scales and weights which are deceitful, lashok ohev, he loves to oppress. V'boy say mehachin, if you want I could say it's from here, from the following pasuk in Yeshayahu, the pasuk says, Asher sochareho sorim kinoneho nichbadei oretz. Here the word kinoneho is used to refer to the merchants who are the honorable ones of the earth. And the Gemara continues, V'yomar Rabba, Rabbi Yochanan, and Rabba says that Rabbi Yochanan says, Asad HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'asos sukkah latzadikim me'oro shel Livyasan. In the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make a hut for the tzadikim from the hide of the Livyasan. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, there's also a pasuk in Eov, Hasamale vasukos oro, which literally means, can you fill his skin with darts? But we're using the pasuk to mean that we're taking the hide of the Livyasan and making these sukkos for the tzadikim. Zachan, if he merits osen lo sukkah, then they make from a sukkah. Lo zacha, let's say the person is not righteous enough, so osen lo tziltzil, so instead of giving him a sukkah, we give him a tziltzil, which is a covering for his head. Shenemar, as it says in the same pasuk in Eov, uvetziltzal dogim rosho, which literally means, or his head with fish spears. And zachan, again, if he's righteous enough, if he merits it, osen lo tziltzil, they give him this head covering. But lo zacha, if he does not merit, osen lo anak, so then they give him a necklace. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, this is a pasuk in Mishlei, va'anakim legargarosecha, and necklaces for your neck. And Zachan, if he merits, Osen lo anak, again he gets this necklace. Lo Zach, if he does not merit, Osen lo kamiyah, so then he gets an amulet. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is the pasuk in Eov as well. Vatiksherenu l'narosech. It says they're going to tie it for your maidens, meaning to say a small amulet that you put, for example, on a child. And finally, the Gemara says, V'ashar, and whatever remains of the Levyasan Parso HaKadosh Baruch Hu al Chomos Yerushalayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will spread it on the walls of Yerushalayim, V'zivo Mavik Misofa Olam Aviad Sofo, and its glory will radiate from one end of the world to the other. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is a pasuk in Yeshayahu, V'holchu Goyim La'orich, it says that the nations will go to your light, U'malachim, and kings Lenoga Zarchech will go by the brightness of your rising. And the Gemara continues at the two dots. The pasuk in Yeshayahu says, "V'samti chadkod shimshosayach." I'm going to make your pinnacles of kadkod. It's a certain kind of stone, a precious stone. And the Gemara says, "Amar Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani." Rav Shmuel bar Nachmani says, "Pligi trei malachi b'rakia." Two of the angels in the heavens, they argued what stone was being used for these walls of Yerushalayim. Gavriel and Michael, and the two angels who argued about it were Gavriel and Michael. V'yamrilo, and some say trei amorai b'marav. It was two amoraim in the west who argued about it. Uman inon, and who are they? Yehuda of Chizkiah, b'nei Rabbi Chia. We're talking about Yehuda and Chizkiah, who were the sons of Rabbi Chia. And they argued as follows: Chadam or Shoham. One said the stones that are going to be used in these pinnacles of Yerushalayim are these stones called the Shoham. The Chadam are Yoshvei, and the other one says it's the stones of Yoshvei. Amar Lu HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to them, Lahave Kedeinu Kedein. Let it be like both of them. And this is a play on the word Kadkod. Kedeinu Kedein. We can use both stones. And the Gemara continues, the pasuk in Yeshayahu continues, Usharayech la'avnei ektoch. It says that your gates will be made of precious stones. Kihadi Yosef Rabbi Yochanan. It's like what Rabbi Yochanan, when he was sitting, v'kadarish, and he was darshaning, Asad HaKadosh Baruch Hu, lahavi avonim tovos u'margalios. In the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will bring precious stones and pearls, shem shloshim al shloshim, that they're 30 by 30 amos, v'chokek bohen eser al esrim, and he's going to carve out an area of 10 by 20 amos to be an opening as the gates. Umamidon b'shara Yerushalayim, and he'll stand them up at the gates of Yerushalayim. Ligleg olav oso Talmud, a certain student, he made fun of it, and he said, Hashta kabeasa detzitzlo lo mashkachinan. Here we don't even find stones like this that are the size of the egg of a dove. Kuli hai mashkachin, and you're thinking you're going to find precious stones that are that large. Liyomim hifligos v'naso bayam, and some days later, this particular student, he went in a ship out to sea. Chaza malachi asharis the yasve v'kamenasri avonim tovos u'margalios, and he saw the malachi asharis. They were sitting and they were carving precious stones and pearls, shehem lamed al lamed, which were 30 by 30 amos, v'chokak behen, and they were hollowing out an area of eser brum esrim of 10 by 20 amos. Amar lahu, and he said to them, Hani laman, what are these stones for? Amrulei, they said to him, Shasad HaKadosh Baruch Hu lahamidan b'shari Yerushalayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to set these stones by the gates of Yerushalayim. Asa l'kamid Rabbi Yochanan, he came before Rabbi Yochanan. Amarlei, and he said to him, Derosh Rebbe, you should continue to darshan Rebbe. L'chanoah lidrosh, it's good when you darshan. Kasher amarta kein ra'isi, exactly what you said, that's what I saw. Amar lo, so Rabbi Yochanan said back to him, Reika, empty one. Il mole lo ra'isa lo hemanta, had you not seen it, you wouldn't have believed it. You're mocking the words of the Chachamim. Nasan ein of bo, he set his eyes on him. V'nasa gal shalatzamos, and he became a heap of bones. And the Gemara continues, Meisvei, we have a question on Rabbi Yochanan from the following Brisa. The pasuk says in Sefer Vayikra, Va'olech eschem komamios. We understand this to mean in the future that I'm going to make you stand upright. It's talking about the height of people in the future. Rabbi Meir says, Masayim Amma, people will be 200 amos tall. Kishtei komos shel Adam Harishon, it's like double the size of Adam Harishon. Rabbi Yehuda says, Meya Amma, the people will be 100 amos. Keneged Hechel v'Kosalav, corresponding to the height of the Hechel and its walls. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, like our sons, they were like planted in their youth. And our daughters are like the corners of the Heichel of the Beis HaMikdash, again comparing to the height of the Heichel. And so you see that the individuals at that time are going to be much larger. Even a gate the size that Rabbi Yochanan mentioned would not be large enough for these people. And the Gemara answers, Ki Kamar Rabbi Yochanan, what was Rabbi Yochanan talking about when he was talking about these stones that would be 30 by 30 amos and they'd carve out a space of 10 by 20? That was Lekaved de Beizeka, that was talking about the windows of the walls of Yerushalayim to let the air in, to let the wind in. That was not referring to the gates to enter through, and that's why they are a size that are not necessarily as big as people of that time. And the Gemara continues, V'yamar Rabba Amar Rabbi Yochanan, and Rabba says that Rabbi Yochanan says, Asir HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'asos sheva chupos l'chol tzadik v'tzadik. In the future, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make 7 canopies for each righteous individual. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Uvara Hashem al kol mechon har Tzion v'al mikroeha. And it's going to use 7 words over here. Anon, Yomam, V'Oshan, V'Noga, Eish, Lahava, Laila, Ki al kol kavod chuppah. On every honor, there's going to be this canopy. So we understand that there's going to be 7 canopies for the tzaddikim. Melamed, this pasuk teaches, Shekol echad v'echad osel HaKadosh Baruch Hu chuppah lefi chavodo. It teaches that for each individual, HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes a canopy that is according to what he is worthy of. And the Gemara says, Ashan b'chuppah lama. One of the words in the pasuk was Ashan, smoke. Why is there smoke in this canopy? Amar Rabbi Chanina says, Shekol mi she'einav tsaros b'talmidei chachamim ba'olam hazeh. Anybody who has a stingy eye towards the talmidei chachamim in this world, mismalos einav ashan le'olam haba. His eyes will be filled with smoke in the world to come. And the Gemara continues, Ve'esh b'chuppah lama. Why is there fire in the canopy? One of the words mentioned was fire, was Eish. Amar Rabbi Chanina says, Melamed shekol echad v'echad nichve mechupaso shel chaveru. It teaches that every individual is going to be singed when he sees the canopy of his friend that's larger, that's greater than his. Oila la'osa busha. Woe is to somebody who has such embarrassment. Oila la'osa klima. Woe is to somebody who has such a disgrace. Kayotze b'davar ata omer. We find similarly, it says in the pasuk, v'nasata mehodcha olav. It says that some of your glory is going to be placed upon him. It's talking about Moshe and Yehoshua. V'lo kol hodcha. Not all of your glory. Zekenim Ba'osu Hador Amru, the elders of that generation, they said, Pnei Moshe ki Pnei Chama, the face of Moshe was like the face of the sun, Pnei Yehoshua ki Pnei Levana, but the face of Yehoshua was only like the face of the moon. Oila la'osa busha, woe is that embarrassment. Oila la'osa chlima, woe is that disgrace. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Chanina says, Eser chuppah sasa HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'adam harishon began Eden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made 10 canopies for Adam Harishon in Gan Eden. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, and this is a pasuk in Yechezkel, Be'eden gan Elokim ha'yisa kol even yikara v'gomer. It talks about all the precious stones, and it lists them. They were used for this chuppah for Adam Harishon in Gan Eden. And Mar Zutra says, Achas Esrei, they were actually 11. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, kol even yikara, all these precious stones, that adds 1, that makes a total of 11. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Yochanan says, V'garua shebekula. Now the worst among the stones, the one that was of the most inferior quality, Zahav, it was the gold, to Kachashav Leila Vasov, because Zahav, the gold is mentioned last. We'll see the full pasuk over here. Be'eden gan Elokim ha'yisa kol even yikara, Mesuchasecha, Odem, Pitata, V'yalom, Tarshish, Shoam, V'yoshvei, Sapir, Nofech, Uvarkas, V'zahav. You see that Zahav is mentioned last. And the Gemara continues, My Meleches tu pechu nekavecha bach. What does it mean at the end of the pasuk when it says the workmanship of your drums and your holes are within you? Amar Rav Yehuda Marav. Rav Yehuda says, the Rav says, Amar la HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'chiram melech Tzur. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Chiram, who is the king of Tzur, B'chonis takalti uvarasi nekavim ba'adam. I looked at you and I created these holes within a person. So a person goes to the bathroom. V'ikad yamrin. There are those that say hachikamar. This is what it means to say B'chonis takalti. I looked at you. And the Rashbam explains B'chonis takalti. I looked at you, referring to Chiram melech Tzur. Kishabarasi olami, meaning when I created my world, Shata'asid Limrod, that in the future you would rebel, you Chiram, the king of Tzur, would rebel, Velasos Atzmecha Eloah, you would make yourself like a god, and so therefore, Varasi Badam Nekavim Shemotzi and Rei, therefore I created in man, I created these holes, these orifices, which a person uses to go to the bathroom, to remind the person that he is human, so to speak, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Ayin Hey Amid Beis.